Hello my friends and welcome to episode 16 of our Football Manager 2020 Let's Play. Starting on the finances screen because I'm going to let you see kind of what's going on. We've made about £4.5 million profit this season, obviously because of that £5 million at the start, which means we've lost about £500,000 this season, which is reasonable. But as you can see, we've increased the wage budget by about £400 per week, which means that the transfer window didn't go quite as I predicted. And that's kind of the way it went. You can obviously see the transfer budgets went up, so you know that I've not spent a huge amount of money. And I did not make a budget adjustment. It says I did, but I didn't, I promise you. But let's see what happened. I did ask the board for a new coach and new scout, so that's why when we click on transfers you see we've got an offer in for Gordon Greer and Joe Taylor, both who could come in and hopefully do a job for us if they accept. But anyway, let's get into transfer history. So we've got 3 ins. All 3 of the ins are loans, and that's where we're going to start first. We've brought in Archie Mikkelsen. He is a backup that can play all the way across our midfield 5, which is actually pretty handy. Wouldn't play him as a ball winner, of course, and probably not as a Mazzilli either. He's going to be in really one of the 2 wing slots when needed, but he is very, very good. He's on loan for £275 a week from Dundee United, and I'm excited to get him in. He actually scored with his first touch for the club. We'll go into that in a bit more detail in a little bit. We then brought Harris O'Connor in. He's just a left-sided centre back really with Selin Megat, which we'll go into again in more detail in a minute. It meant that we had nobody really to cover for Aidan Wilson other than John Kildan, who I like and I think is going to be a very good player, but ideally I wanted to loan him out. That didn't quite work out, but I felt that he wasn't ready to be in the team consistently as a backup yet. So we've brought in Harris O'Connor. He's costing us £500 a week, so it's more than what we were spending, but he's going to cost a bit less in terms of team dynamics. And we've also got another player in from Rangers on loan. It's Chris McKee. Now, he's a young striker. He was actually out of contract at the end of the season. I was hoping to use this as sort of his trial in. Unfortunately, signed a new deal, so great. But he's one of 3 strikers I was looking at. One of them's already got a transfer. He's renewed his contract, and the other one isn't interested yet because he wants to play in the division above. So if we get promoted, we'll then make that move, of course, and hopefully get him. But right now, Chris McKee is a backup striker for us, and now there's reasons for that. So if we can go to Sam Jamieson left, he went to Ayr for £1.9 million. He was one of our backup strikers, remember. Daryl McGabb managed to get £1,000 for him. Matthew Henvey, also out of contract at the end of the season, had a lot of interest in offering him contract at the and I thought, do you know what, I'll offer him out, put him on a transfer list, see what we can do. And we got 2.1k for him. Now I'm a bit disappointed that all these deals were locked. I couldn't get sell-ons on, but I thought, getting combined 4k for 2 players who would have lost for nothing at the end of the season, and we're saving £300 in wages, isn't the worst thing in the world. 1k extra on top of that for Magat, which was another £300 a week on wages. Tony Buchan and Daniel Farrell away on loan to East of Scotland clubs or Southern Premiership clubs respectively. Kelty Hearts, they still managed by Barry Ferguson. Indeed they are. It's not bad, not awful. And then there was a big one. Bids were coming in from Hearts consistently through the window for our players. Regan Thompson, Dean McMaster, there was another one, I can't remember who it is now. And they were constantly coming in, and then right at the end of the window, I basically kept negotiating and saying, I want 100k up front, and then they weren't even getting close to it. And then the last time they put in a bid, I think it was 19k their starting price. I went, I'll take 100k plus all your add-ons that you're offering, and 50% of the profit of the next sale. And they went, yeah, okay, no problem. And that's what they've paid us. So we've got 115k including instalments, and then another 55k in add-ons. Hopefully that will work out okay for us. Today we are going to play East Fife, I believe. It's at home. Our form's been a bit patchy since the last episode. We played Airdrie, we won 2-0, that was quite good. Brad Lyons and Archie Meekson scoring with his first touch. of the ball in a Queen's shirt, as I mentioned. Brought him off the bench for Craig Conway, who'd missed a penalty and started to go in his shell a little bit. And from the resulting corner that has happened, basically came on, there was a header, was cleared, fell straight to him, and he scored with his first touch. It was absolutely ecstatic. Before we then played Dumbarton, Sean Ardwicka and Brad Lyons on the score sheet there, but then lost 3-1 to Kilmarnock in the Cup. I would have shown this if it wasn't in the middle of the January transfer window, and actually I feel like we were the better team. If you have a look at the stats for this match, you would have predicted that one of the teams was 2 divisions below, but as it is, they were clinical, for a team of their division. But then we lost 1-0 to Morton. They scored a penalty. I actually feel quite frustrated with this because I feel like we should have had a penalty before it for the exact same thing. We didn't get it, and then we played Clyde. We won 1-0 through Brad Lyons. Welcome to today's game. It is East Fife at home, and I made a couple of changes to the team which I'll go through in just a second. I'm going to apologise for the abrupt sort of end. I was debating whether I re-recorded or not to the last bit, but it's taken me 24 hours to finish recording this episode. The little one woke up and I've just not had any time to record since. So the team for today, we've got Hegarty in goal. He is really developing nicely. We've got Williams, McAllister, Wilson in defence. McCourt joins him. I wanted to give him some game time and I need to get him some match fitness, so I've thrown him in today. Will Graham comes in because Regan Thompson's unhappy that I priced him out of a move to Hearts, which is a bit of an issue for us going forward because he only has another year on his contract. Lamont, Lyons, Purdue, Conway and Ardorqua, who is now joint top goal scorer with 8 goals, with 4 or 5 other players win the squad. So hopefully we can get a result today. We've obviously got Chris McKee on the bench as well if we need to change things up, as well as Mikason. Conway just now is probably worse of the two options on that left wing, but Mikason's better on the bench. And right now Conway, when I think the only time I started Mikason actually instead of Conway was the Morton game where we lost, of course. We're currently 12 points clear with a game in hand. This game in hand is today, so hopefully we can get a win, and that would put us 15 clear with 14 games to go. It'd be, we've seen that last season we turned around 9 points with a lot less time. But so we can throw it away, but ideally we don't. As they have a goal kick on the first highlight. Lyons wins it. Jack Purdue. Done well here, Purdue. Decent. Oh, it's on his weaker foot. That's him as our top goal scorer now, with 9 goals for the season. As Jack Purdue just runs with the ball, doesn't find any passes, and strikes it home. Lyons with the nod down for Purdue. He sort of goes past one, and then doesn't find any more challenges. He just gets into a position, and under the challenge, or the approach to the challenge, he hits it on his weaker left foot, and he scores. I'm not going to complain with that, but Jack Purdue again showing that he's very difficult to replace. My head says that we sell him next season in the summer, but at the same time, he's just performing so well for us. As Lyons, no way he's offside. Absolutely no way. I'd be curious to see this again because I was watching him in the middle. His right foot's just ahead. He stuck his foot out basically as he's sort of repositioning himself. As Dunsmore's going to be off. I actually looked at signing him in the summer as well, Aaron Dunsmore, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because he was good enough for this league, but he wouldn't have been good enough to move up. And we've wasted some money already on players like that. To pick out one big example is that goal kick again going to be picked up by Brad Lyons. Would be Rico Katongo, who was very much a panic buy, and then we managed to get Liam Gibson, of course. Crosses poor from Lyons, falls to Williams, who gets it in, and it's been cleared away. Williams picks this one up though. His cross was much better than Lyons. Here is Lyons. Purdue again, the goal scorer, finds Craig Conway, who's now joint top goal scorer with 9 goals for the season. Craig Conway, who has been offered a contract to become an assistant manager at the end of the year. I'm really hoping that he accepts it because it would be a big, big upgrade. Decent move here, Lamont into Lyons. Purdue takes a touch under the pressure, finds Conway, who hits it first time before the man gets to him, and it's in the back of the net. I have been getting some other people to test this tactic out because I'm very curious to see if this tactic is good or if the players that I've got are just too good for the league. Now that's not me testing it for my reasons and feeling like I've got to change it. It's me feeling that if it's good, I would rather you guys have access to it. Brad Lyons here has picked up a bit of a knock. I'm going to bring Mikkelsen on, who can play that side, and that means that Craig Conway will see this game out. But let's bring Mikkelsen on loan from Dundee United. Of course, we have now used our full allotment, if I'm right in thinking, of loan players for this season for domestic loans. Of course, we've had a few from down south, which really helps us out. But the wages for down south is always a stumbling block when I'm trying to maintain the wage budget. Now, obviously, I've taken a bit of a risk increasing the wages, but I don't think it's too much of an issue. Is we managed to get a decent ball in there. Our Arca's shot is blocked. Unfortunately for us, I will bring Will Graham off. He is starting to tire. Not seeing any of Jack McCourt though, which is a bit concerning for me. Will Graham will come off for Regan Thompson, of course. And I'm tempted to bring on Campbell Notley as well, get him some game time now that he's sort of become the focus of our development for that position. Regan Thompson whips in. It's missed by Turner and it falls for Meekson. He's got Williams outside. He finds Williams. Poor ball in. Comes to Ardarka straight at heart. Decent, no. Decent. In fact, I'm going to do exactly that now. Campbell Notley coming on for Mark Lamont. In fact, no, he's not. He's going to come on for Jack Purdue. Jack Purdue's tied in. In fact, no, he's not. Lamont, straight swap. See how he gets on. I'm curious to see how he does develop, because obviously that's frustrating that we've conceded. Mark Gallagher scoring for East Fife. A lot of errors there. It was a wicked ball in. It just comes off one of our lads. The goalkeeper just caught in no man's land after that. Frustrating, but we're still winning against 10 men. Go with a bit of praise here. But yeah, obviously Dean McMaster was starting to really kick on with his development towards the time that we sold him, and this isn't ideal. Okay, dink, and I think that'll hopefully work. See you at the game, boys. At the time that we sold Dean McMaster, his development was really coming on, and he was pushing for that first team slot. I just feel that £100,000 was a lot of money for us to turn down at this stage. You know, we are burning through money and we're never going to get much more than that for him, so I was fairly content to accept that. We've got 50% of the next sale as well, which is unbelievable. You can see my training sessions right now are quite aggressive, particularly trying to develop passing and crossing at the minute, as well as the goalkeepers, of course. But we're 15 points clear with 14 games left to go. That puts us in great shape. So when do we come back? We've obviously got no cup games left now, so I think, tell you what, who have we shown so far? We've shown Dunfermline twice. Let me check. Dunfermline twice, Ross County, irrelevant, Clyde, and then East Fife today. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe, is it 36 games? It must be. Right, let's come back for Morton. It's in about 5 games time, and that could be quite a big one for us. Morton, one of the teams that's sort of there or thereabouts with us. They're 2 points behind Dunfermline. So I think we skip to Morton. That will be the next episode. I'll hopefully catch you all next time, guys. Let me know what you think of the series, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time.